I just saw something that was interesting. And I want to share this with everybody because, as I said, the words, these are not just my words. These are words that have been echoed through several articles. So this is, of course, about AI. Now, we're talking about how the world's going to be dumbed down by AI, which is great for dumb people like me. Dumbass people like me going to be fine.
Yeah.
All you smart people out there, your job's going to be taken. All you smart people out there, you know, computers are going to ruin your life. I just sit up here and press buttons and don't do a damn thing. Yeah, I'm that chimp that just sits up here. Yeah, so the stupid people, the stupid ass people of the world like me, we're going to be good. But AI is changing things. Now, we've seen AI change things with, you know, like with Chat GPT. You know, first you had the way it changed things just by text. You know, you can get answers for anything. You can have code written. You can have articles written. It changed the world as far as journalism goes. You know, news outlets now kind of incorporating AI. A lot of people, you know, writers are scared. And then the artists caught it. Now we're getting into AI-generated imagery, and people are starting to use that more, and the technology is only getting better, which means for some people, it's going to make their life worse. At least that's what people are afraid of. It was only a matter of time, and wow, and when I say only a matter of time, that time went fast. It's only a matter of time before we moved on to moving images.
Oh, yeah. I've been seeing that. There was actually some Super Bowl commercials that were inspired by that.
Really?
Yeah. Did you see the body armor commercial? They were mocking Gatorade, and it was like AI generated. So like it was like a guy's arm turns into a Gatorade bottle, and it looked like two guys were making out with like a big Gatorade bottle.
No, I didn't see that. I did not see that.
You want something natural, and then it cuts to like a real guy drinking body armor.
Ah, well. Pretty soon they're going to be using AI to make Gatorade commercials.
Yeah, if they're not already.
If they're not already. Because, yeah, now people are afraid who are working within the film industry now because they have this program called Sora.
Okay.
Or this application or, you know, whatever called Sora. And Sora, what Sora does right now, and it's not perfect, but Sora is actually able to create images. And it's so advanced now that these images, they know how to work within real space or mimic real space. So what I'm saying is that if let's just say you have a character or an animal or something, and you tell it, well, create a woolly mammoth walking in the snow, coming out of the forest. That woolly mammoth has to interact naturally with its environment. You know, it has to like know when it's contacting a certain surface. That surface has to, if you're hitting the ground and it's throwing up snow, it has to, has to react like that. And there you go. There's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
Just from a few lines of text. That's
see what I was thinking. Have you ever seen that clip that's AI generated of C-3PO dancing down the street?
No.
That you should try and look that up. Maybe it's really trippy and visual because it's an AI just putting a whole bunch of images together.
Oh, really?
But that has artistic value to it as well. But that, holy fuck, man, that is terrifying.
So I'm just gonna read this. Just a simple line of text, not a simple line, but a few lines of text. Simple lines of text. That's not asking you to like write, a lot of code or putting in a lot of, special words or anything. Just if you just know how to just write a sentence, you can create an image like that. So let me read this to you. Here's the prompt. Animated scene features a close-up of a short, fluffy monster kneeling beside a melting red candle. The art style is 3D and realistic, with the focus on lighting and texture. The mood of the painting is one of wonder and curiosity as the monster gazes at the flame. All right, you want to see? Then that's all. You want to see what that brought up?
That's a mouthful, but it's very detailed.
But but it's not like
it's not very complex. Yeah.
You want to see what it brought up?
Yeah.
There you go. It's that image right there.
Wow.
Look at that. That's Pixar level.
Yeah, absolutely.
or a DreamWorks level or something. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't. I mean, I thought you were going to get to it when you're talking about AI advances, but also it's been a huge help for the video game industry.
Oh yeah.
And I bet that similar technologies they're using for that is what they're using for video games because they can randomly generate an entire forest that is fully detailed.
Well, they're talking about, man. Listen, that's you're looking at. So you're looking at these AI images here, that would take a team of effects artists to make, and render out. But they're also creating these scenes that would take a film crew, hours to go out and set up and shoot in the right conditions. And so here's another prompt right here. All right, listen to this. A stylish woman walks down a Tokyo street filled with warm, glowing neon and animated city signage. She wears a black leather jacket, a long red dress, and black boots, and carries a black purse. She wears sunglasses and red lipstick, and she walks confidently and casually. You want to see what it came up with?
Yeah, I do.
That's the image right there.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And you know what I'm looking at is like her hands and stuff, and they don't look fucked up like they used to. Remember, like where they'd have 7 thumbs or something?
Yeah. And listen, if you look closely, I mean, we're being trained now to recognize an artificial image when we see it. But that you can see this if you look hard enough. You can tell that this is probably AI generated. But
like the signs, you can tell like the arrows look a little bit weird, but still.
Yeah, and the camera work is a little too smooth, and then when it shifts, it just kind of does a hard shift. But man, look at this. This is crazy, right?
It is, because with this technology, like all these imperfections that we're talking about, you can still cut around it yourself.
And when you talk about imperfections, look at the skin. You look at that and you wonder, is that a real person in first?
Yeah.
Now, again, man, this is stuff that would take hours of rendering, hours of shooting live. If you were doing this live action, you'd have to go out there on location, wet down the streets, have the right lighting conditions. You'd have to have a crew out there. This is a prompt. Now, they are saying things about this where it's in limited release right now, because they're saying that they still haven't perfected some features here, such as the program can't read whether a character needs to go left or right sometimes, I think. Or an example that they use is what if one of the characters takes a bite out of a cookie? It doesn't know to leave that bite taken out of the cookie.
There's little things with AI. Some things that I think they'll be able to overcome. Others, I think it will take a lot longer.
Yeah.
Like with, I think the music thing is also really crazy. The way that you can just take a voice and then apply it to any song.
Yeah.
But like the one thing I'm noticing is I see people making these really cool animations. I don't think they're AI generated, but they're using AI voices, and those voices, they cannot act.
Yeah.
And that is a lot of nuance that would take a long time, I think, to get there.
One of the things that they still, so artistically, this could be cool. But I think, and I don't know about this program, I know with AI imagery, like some people say, all right, I want to make a whole comic book out of AI, but to keep those images consistent, you put in a prompt and it gives you one thing, you put in another prompt, it's random, it gives you another. So I think that's still a problem, just this random generation of images and animations and whatnot. It's just a random output of something. There's no consistency if you have like a character model, a design, or a style. And also, I think that it needs to get to a point where, I think this could be very cool for animation.
Oh yeah, and just movies in general.
Yeah, I mean, just to make something like that, that's amazing. But I think what would be ideal is if you were able to input like a model sheet. And have the computer stay consistent with that model sheet. Let's say you have that creature right there. You've drawn it from different angles, or you've generated different angles, and you say, hey, every time I type in a prompt with this creature or this character, or this monster, whatever, have it be consistent in everything that I do.
Yeah, I can already see it. I mean, I'm sure you've seen like behind the scenes for movies like Shrek, you know, like how they have all the models built up. I can see where this technology is going, where you'll be able to, it'll have like a place like, all right, show me your characters, put them in here, put some locations in here, and then it will just all put it all together for you.
Yeah. Now, of course, this is terrifying the film industry because people are thinking, all right, is this going to put a lot of crews out of work, or is it going to diminish the jobs and the work for people? Artists are wondering, okay, now we're not going to have as many animators that are going to be needed for a project because, you know, we can just put this into a computer and the computer can do most of the work. Also, outside of that, the scary part is, of course, what if it gets too perfect and then we start recreating images of politicians or celebrities? You know, what if we want to make, there's a lot of nudes of Taylor Swift out there. There's a lot of nudes of Taylor Swift. Now, what if we actually making, you know, porn?
There's programs to do that already.
Yeah.
Like where you can just put someone's face on any video.
But now, you know, all you got to do is put in a simple prompt. Type in something. I want to put in, you know, Putin saying he's about to launch a nuclear strike on America. You know what I mean? So, you know, you know, and another example that they use, what they have Joe Biden, you know, on a phone call saying something crazy to someone, you know, it's just based on some, you know, conspiracy or rumor that's going around. That's, you know, that's the terrifying thing about this.
Yeah, I mean, that's real world issues. As far as movies, though, I can't remember the name of the guy, but what's the name of that famous sex symbol actor who died in a car crash?
Which one?
The like in the 60s. Like he was like one of the original like glasses, coiffed hair, greaser type guy.
James Dean.
Yes, James Dean I think has a movie coming out like next year or this year actually. Like there's a movie that they're full on just going to use AI and it's going to say starring James Dean.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit. See, that's weird, man.
I don't know where that project is right now.
It's exciting as a tool looking at this.
It's incredible.
But, you know, as far as, you know.
That's mind-blowing.
I know. As far as people, you know, artists who are going to be out of work, filmmakers who might not need as many, you know, people, you know, crew members who are not going to be able to get, you know, we're not going to be needed as much anymore. You know, we're looking at things like this right here. You know, just the realism of this and how this could affect just the news that we get. What's real or what's not real anymore. It's crazy, man. You know, it's exciting as a tool, but I can see where it's terrifying for everybody else on many levels, artistically, but also, you know, politically and news-wise. And
yeah, the political thing is crazy. Yeah. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, and we just had a poll taken by, let me see here. We had a poll taken by Skull. I imagine he put that up. And he asked people, are you worried AI videos lead to misinformation? And 94% of people said yes. Because you already have people who are buying into misinformation when it's obvious that it's made up.
Yeah, just an image of text, right?
Yeah, or just words, you know, just somebody just saying something. Somebody just throwing a conspiracy out there and they want to believe it. Now imagine if you have the visuals and the audio to go with it. That's insane. What are you looking at?
I'm pulling up that clip that I was telling you about 3CP, you know? I mean, I can send it to you now, but like that's where it started, and it's really interesting to see, I think.
Oh yeah, and that's cool. But what I'm looking at right there, you know, let me see. But if you see it, it's still imperfect, man. You can still tell that is, you know, the images are flickering and flopping all over the place. You know, it looks almost like a you know, an animation.
It's a style within itself. That's why I thought I appreciate that. But what you showed me there,
but that's not realistic.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, now we're looking at these woolly mammoths, man.
That is it's scary.
Yeah, and like I said, that's a prompt that people put in. Now, I can already see this being used, like if you need some B-roll, footage, or some second unit direction footage.
Yeah.
You know.
But at the same time, I think that there's going to be people who are going to want to do the real thing because there's going to be a difference to it. I mean, but the better the technology gets, I mean, you're really not going to be able to tell the difference. Like my parents, if they saw that, they would think it was real.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, it's going to be interesting at this. You know, there's a reason to be worried. always go into something with caution. I always put up the warning signs of what technology can do and where and how it could be misused. But at the same time, technology has always come with fears. New technology has always come with, you know, a load of fears and worry, which it all worked out. It all worked out one way or another.
I'm thinking, though, there's some cool, interesting positives.
There's a lot of positives.
But here's a specific one. How sick would it be to have an all AI episode of Black Mirror? Let the AI write it and let the AI animate it like that.
I think you just predicted something that they're going to do.
I hope they do, man, because that last season sucked.
I'm telling you, this sounds crazy. But imagine how crazy this sounds to people who just were alive like 40 years ago. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm predicting that's going to get to a point where you want to watch a show, you type in what kind of show you want to watch, and it'll make the show for you.
I mean, you heard about the Seinfeld thing, right? There was like an AI Seinfeld. People have, like, on TikTok, they have streams that run 24/7, and it's all the SpongeBob characters. And again, it has that problem I was saying, you know, where, like, the AI can't really act. But it still sounds like, hey, SpongeBob, do you want to go to the chum bucket?
Yeah.
It's like you never got that, and here you can just see it. They have the South Park characters. Animation is going to get this first.
Yeah. Or imagine if you just want to invent a show.
That's crazy to think about. I would love to play with that.
I want to see a show where a garden gnome goes on an adventure with an orangutan and a stripper, you know, and they rob a bank and pull a bunch of heists. I mean, you could put that in, and it'll probably make that movie or that show. Custom-made series and custom-made shows that no longer require producers or networks to give you, or streaming services to give you. You type it into a program, and that program, you pay a service. You pay, like for cable, you pay a monthly fee for that, for subscription to that, and you have so many shows you can make.
So we're going to be at a point where it's like people are going to be circulating their own things. Like, hey, I came up with this thing. What's your idea that you've been putting in the box?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah, we'll be trading
God.
shows that we produced. And when I say produce, we just typed into a computer and said, make this. It's going to be insane.
Wow.
It sounds crazy, but think about it, people. I mean, we already was putting in prompts and getting these things.
Oh my God, I would tell it, make me 50 Jackass movies, and I'd never leave the house again.
Oh, that's real life. You don't need to. You can go outside and see that. That's the internet. That's the internet right now.
Yeah, but I would love to see what the AI would think to do, because you would tell it to innovate with the ideas, and then it would just, oh my God. Imagine asking the AI, though, to do like a documentary or something. Like, what would it even say? Where would it pull that information from?
I'm telling you, 40 years from now, 50 years from now, I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think that sounds too far-fetched.
It doesn't.
It might be a different version of what I'm saying, but that's right now. I know it sounds like, oh, I don't know, you know, a database can't pull up that much information and whatnot now, but you know, give it time when AI just has, you know, this infinite ability to do anything. Yeah,
and the AIs are working on making better AIs.
Yeah.
It's nonstop now.
It'll be able to pull something from somewhere that we set up ourselves, and then the computer or the AI will run with it.
Yeah, and because, you know, like just generation in general, you know, like something like the Unreal Engine is getting so good that, you know, you can't really tell. It can take like you can now take a photograph of something and upload it to Unreal, and it's fully rendered in 3D.
There you go. There you go, people. What a crazy time that we're living in, and it's only going to get crazier. Where it goes, nobody knows. But I'm excited, and yeah, I'm a little scared by this. But like I said, you know,
got to get in on the ground, like the ground floor with this, and just like insert one of the podcasts that you record, and just be like, make a double toasted studio TV show. I want to see what that would look like.
Hey, listen, part of me is excited for this, and I'll tell you what, because I was that person who wanted to be an animator their whole lives. When I finally started doing animation, I said, man, this sucks. I just want to press a button and make animation. So I'm that guy who's evil right now. It's probably the reason why this is happening. But hey, I get it. I get it while there's a lot of fear with this.